Katom is a Thai rice soup, and it's such an easy and comforting meal to make.
Hi there, I'm Renee Fuentes and welcome back to my channel, Thai Caliente. As I mentioned, I'm going to be sharing a Thai recipe for Katom Gui. So it is essentially a rice soup that's commonly eaten for breakfast, but you'll see street vendors in Thailand, they also serve it kind of as a late night bite. So there is another similar version called jok, but that is kind of a more flavorful broth, and then the rice is cooked and broken down, so it's extra creamy. Katom is just rice boiled with water, so we're not going to add a lot of seasoning, just a little bit of salt, but then you can customize with whatever toppings you want. So this one's definitely going to be easier to make. Katom is easier to make than the jok. But I'm going to show you a traditional way to make it and then some more modern/Americanized toppings. All right, you guys, let's get started.
So we're going to be using 1 cup of jasmine rice. Make sure you rinse it well to remove all the starches. You can also make katom with day-old rice that's already been cooked, but I'm going to show you how to make it from the beginning. So go ahead and add 3 cups of water per 1 cup of rice. I did end up adding more water after the rice was cooked because it does expand and thicken as the rice is cooking. So once your rice is boiling, I forgot to show this, but add a little bit of salt and then go ahead and add your rinsed rice. You want to go ahead and give it a stir and then bring it up to a boil. And then once it starts boiling, we're just going to reduce the heat to low and then just keep stirring it until the rice is fully cooked and the grains are no longer hard. So right now the rice is cooked. It's no longer, hard. I am going to add a little bit more water because this is going to thicken as it cools. So a authentic version would use this Chinese sausage. You can find this at most Asian grocery stores, and I'll show you how to cook it, but at the end of the video I'll show you a more kind of American modernized version. So go ahead and place your Chinese sausage in a skillet. I'm going to add some water and bring it to a boil just so it can release some of the fat. So you can see here it kind of changes its color. And then we're going to go ahead and remove the water or drain the water, and then we're going to add them back to the stove, and that way they can crisp up a little bit. So go ahead and place the Chinese sausage back on the stove over medium heat and cook it down until it kind of dries out and starts developing some color. So this is pretty much what you want. And then this is done, so we're going to set it aside and continue prepping our toppings. So I have a video that I'll link in the iCard on how to make a Thai omelet or kai chiao. All it is just fish sauce and whisked eggs. I used a skillet this time instead of cooking it in the oil just to kind of save time and some calories, but both ways work well. So I'm just cutting it into small pieces. That way it's a little bit easier to serve and eat with the katom. So you can do strips or chop it up into however you guys like. So the next condiment or topping, I'm going to be using some Thai bird's eye chili and this pickled cabbage. You can get this, or not cabbage, green mustard. It's very similar to cabbage. So I'm just draining some of the water out. It is a little bit, it does have some soy sauce, so it is a little bit salty. But I am going to be mixing a little bit of lime with it later. So this is just, you just kind of want to chop it up into small pieces because then it's going to kind of bring that element of sourness and saltiness to the katom. Because remember, the rice itself isn't going to have a lot of flavor. It's just kind of a very plain, it's just plain rice with a little bit of salt. So this is what's really going to give all that extra umami and flavor. So I'm just dicing it up into small little pieces, and then I will go ahead and add the Thai bird's eye chili. So now go ahead and dice up some Thai bird's eye chili. This is completely optional if you don't want the spice. I kind of like that extra kick. You know, Thai people, even if it's a breakfast item, they're still eating something spicy for breakfast. So yeah, use as many or as little as you like. And give that a nice mix with the mustard greens. And then, like I said, we're just going to squeeze a little bit lime to kind of bring out some brightness and acidity. Okay, you guys, so we are ready to assemble our katom. Like I said, this was actually a little too dense, so I ended up adding a little bit more water. But just go ahead and layer on your toppings. So I'm doing the kai jiao, the Chinese sausage, and the pakat dong, which is the pickled mustard greens with the Thai bird's eye chili. You can also add a couple dashes of fish sauce to the katom as well. But it's just such a cozy, comforting Thai meal.
All right, so that is the traditional way to serve katom goi. I'm going to show you something with a little bit more Americanized toppings. So you can find these at your local grocery store if you can't get to an Asian market, because really jasmine rice is available almost everywhere these days. So here's what I got. All right, so this is the consistency essentially you want. I did add a little bit more water because I felt like initially it was too thick, but you see it just has kind of a nice loose consistency. So the sausage that I'm using is a chicken sausage that I got from my grocery store, and it has pineapple and ginger. So I thought that these flavors would go really well with the katom. And then this is just a soft boiled egg. So if you don't want to make the kai jiao, you can just do a fried egg, hard boiled egg, however you like. And a poached egg would be really good as well. So yeah, this is just makes it a little bit more accessible if you want to try katom but don't have access to an Asian grocery store. And if you know how to peel an egg, well, let me know, because I seem to be having some issues with this one. Just going to cut it in half. Ooh, that is perfect, you guys. So just gonna add a little bit of fish sauce to give it some umami and Thai flavor. And look at that, you guys. A little bit of egg and the sausage. Even though these aren't like traditional toppings, the flavor is still tastes so authentic. This really brings me back to my childhood. My mom would always make katom. Rice is super quick to make and affordable, and then you can customize it with any toppings that you like. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, leave me in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.